It's me again. Alright, this is follow up on, I guess you can call it Illinois Monument Part 2. I've been kind of chilling out here, enjoying that's really serene out here. Did a little ghost investigation. I gotta check my recordings and whatnot. But now that the sun's up, it's 8 o'clock now. It's August 24th, 2012. And before I leave, I'm going to show you, as I leave, what I was telling you about. This, as I said, is an Illinois monument. Now you can see right there. See it? Right there? That's the American flag somebody put there. As I told you once again, when you go to these parks, cemeteries, have a little respect. Don't pull them off. Just leave them. People, come to commemorate what happened. But what I'm going to now, as I told you earlier, was the Confederate entrenchments. As you can see, this is where Colonel Dan fell, as I had explained in the last video. That might be him pushing that up. Who knows? But, again, like I said, these are what they call the earthworks. It's probably kind of hard to see in the video, but if you see here, it comes around this way, all the way down. That might be a better view of it. If you see right there where that grass is right here, coming around this way, it's actually like a ditch. If you look right here, that's the sun. If you look right down through here, it's also some kind of type of entrenchment. This, like I said, is what it's called, the dead angle. And now that the sun's up, you get a better view of it. That right there is a marker, and to tell you how much technology has advanced in this world, you get a cell phone audio tour. Imagine that. No bugs flying around. Again, this is the dead angle, and I'll read it to you with a picture right here. As you can see, it's kind of an artist rendering, whatever you want to call it, of it. This bend in the Confederate line became the battle's focal point. At 9 a.m. on June 27, 1864, thousands of yelling blue-clad soldiers charged across the distant field toward the Tennessee soldiers in these earthworks, which are those right there. The Tennessee, right there. As the Federals came forward at double time in successive lines, the Confederates raked the enemy with rifle musket fire. So imagine trying to come up that hill right there and having bullets whizzing by your head. Despite hundreds of casualties, the Federals surged toward this protruding angle in the Confederate defense line. Union Colonel Daniel McCook, which he was, like I said, was right there, that little marker right there. Our brigade commander fell mortally wounded on the brink of these earthworks while leading his troops. As Federals reached the southern line, savage hand-to-hand combat broke out, which means they got tired of shooting, so they decided to get a little physical. Confederate Major General Frank Cheatham's Tennesseans stubbornly held their line, and those Federals not shot, clubbed down, bayoneted, or captured sought shelter. The Union charge was broken. So what does that mean? It means that Major General Frank Cheatham's boys, Tennessee boys, as you can see, held this line right here. This whole section here held this as the Union boys came up from this way. Now the divisions, well, before I get to that, I want to show you something else here. This is a marker for Captain, looks like M.W. Fellows, Inspector General, 3rd Brigade, 2nd Division, 14th AC, which I'm assuming is Artillery Corps. Now, as you can see, again, once again, that's the line. Morning. Now as I walk over here, that was just a jogger, by the way. You can see more of these earthworks, and you can see through here coming down this way, and this way here coming down, it's more earthworks. So the Tennesseans and the Confederates, they had it. They was pretty well entrenched up here. They had the high ground. Where I'm taking you now is where one of the brigades were. This is Vaughn's brigade of Cheatham's division. It says please keep off. But as you can see, a lot of hills. So those are very well entrenched. So you can imagine the troops coming this way, all the way down, just shooting and firing. And I'm sure they was probably coming from behind in the woods here too. But they had this spot here just well endowed with Confederate Tennesseans. And now I'm gonna take you to, I believe it's Manny's brigade. This little walk over here. And just for those who don't know, Cheatham Hill was actually named after Major General Frank Cheatham because of his boys doing what they did up here. Just a little history lesson for you. Matter of fact, this whole thing is history. Learn it. Anywho, like I said, as you can see, the sun coming up. This is more of the earthworks. And from this point, it's a pretty cool looking tree, as you can see. Coming down through here, we have Manny's brigade of Cheatham's division. Kind of hard to read because it's kind of faded out, but again, like I said, Cheatham's division, or his brigade, I'm sorry, they held this spot. So you know the Union, and it wasn't just Illinois boys, but it was mostly Illinois, but there was like I said, Ohio boys and whatnot. But if we come back down this way, before I leave, I'm gonna show you some other stuff. I say once again, this is the site right here, and I do have joggers going by. See, this is the voices you'll hear. Sometimes they talk about just needless crap, but hey, it is what it is. Alright, and this is something here that I don't think I've ever seen before till today. This here says, "Here fell Captain S.M. Neighbor, Company D52 of the Ohio Volunteers of Newcomerstown, Ohio, mortally wounded in the assault of June 27, 1864. This is where he fell. Apparently during the charge going up the hill right there. Trying to get over. And as you can see, you can kind of see how the battle lines were as they came from there. Going down this way. Trying to go up that way. And the hole I was talking about. This is something kind of interesting. This is the tunnel I was talking about. This tunnel here was actually dug by the Union boys. I believe it was the Illinois boys, in attempts to try to plant a bomb. And as you can see, it goes back quite a ways. And here's actually a map. The arch is here, so it's about 100 feet all the way back. And this is the Tennessee line right here. But this is the Union tunnel, which is about 100 feet, which is about 30 meters. They was actually used to try to plant a bomb. As you can see, it's pretty damn dark in there and collapsed. But like I said, once again, they tried to plant a bomb, but it didn't work. And I can't help but wonder if it collapsed on them. Let me see what this says, because this says the assault falters. This is the artist's rendition. And it says, beaten Federals entrenched within 30 yards of the Confederate earthworks. As the Union attack stalled, two surviving Federal colonels hastily discussed retreat. Realizing that withdrawal under heavy fire would invite more bloodshed, they decided to dig in along this brow of the hill not covered by fire from the Confederate earthworks only 30 yards away. While half of the Federals fired toward the earthworks, the rest furiously scooped shallow trenches with their bayonets and tin cups. After nightfall, the Federals brought up tools from the rear and built two lines of entrenchments. For the next 6 days, both sides exchanged sniper fire, expecting an attack at any moment. Only a 7-hour truce to bury the dead on June 29th interrupted the tense stalemate. Now the truce was actually, and I don't know exactly the coordinates from my current position, but it's a fire had broke out, and there's a Texas monument actually right there, and because the fire broke out, they had a brief truce to actually pull their wounded from the fire. But that's for another video. So once again, I thought I'd update the last video I did because it was pretty dark. But once again, imagine the field and your soldiers. All your soldiers lined up right up in here, coming up this way, coming up this nice little steep hill, trying to make it to the top where Captain Neighbors died, and just way up there Colonel Dan Cook had died. This is the Illinois Monument. Thank you.